Hello and welcome to Twenties Aplenty and our weekly campaign, the Headhunter Chronicles, a D&D adventure involving random people met on the internet. In this week's session, the group continue their investigation into the murder of Acro Greenhammer. Unfortunately, Nell can't make this session this week due to illness, but hopefully she'll be back next week. If you enjoyed today's session, please remember to like and subscribe. Either way, we'd love to know what you think. Please leave a comment below. And with that, we hope you enjoy today's session.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good. Maybe. We fight, at times polite. It's DnD.
So, when we last set off, the group had just arrived at the refugee camp, and the group had been greeted by Dunley Swifthammer with a, "What team do you call this, son?" So, Lucy pondered and decided to whimsically say, "Dinner time?" Long story short, Kemlin Aurelius was in the back. He was looking a lot scrawnier than when Lucy had encountered him previously. He'd lost a lot of weight, including a leg up to kind of mid-thigh. So Kemlin was the leader of the Cause, which was a resistance movement in Metataria, which had been occupied by the Nicalian forces on the continent Westlands. Literally, it was like session 2, I think they met him, and he hired the group to relieve the Nicalians of some tax income. There was a caravan that they had to raid, and it's where Lucy found what became the Pants of Holding. So he had been taken prisoner by the Nicalians. There was a man called Jettison Highstand that had betrayed them and let the Nicalians know where their camp was. His group had been captured, dispersed. Some of them escaped. We'd encountered a half-orc called Grak who had made his way to Lothanor. But until now, we hadn't known what had happened to Kemlin or Dunley, his blacksmith companion. They'd both been captured by the Nicalians. They were on their way to High Fort to be executed when a bunch of halfling freedom fighters decided to raid the caravans and set them free. They actually continued on to High Fort, snuck onto a boat, made their way to Scandi, and then from Scandi to Catan. And now they're in the refugee camp and trying to do what they can to help further the cause of the halfling resistance. And that involves getting them some weapons. And he is struggling. And what he needs is to be in with a group called the Brotherhood of Builders. And that Brotherhood, they're like a secret society, like the Freemasons say. And they hang out in the government buildings district. He's been trying to get membership, but it's been falling on deaf ears. However, one of their members has been murdered recently. And given one of the members is the chief of the town's guard, and one of the suspects, the leader of the Brotherhood, a man named Lucius Clot, wants to undertake a independent investigation, so he's currently looking for somebody to help. Kemlin effectively wants the group to go and help on his behalf. So the group headed off to government buildings, having agreed to do the job in return for a place to stay in the refugee camp. and also if Kemlin could try and get the group to put them in touch with the Sorcerer's Circle, or somebody from the Sorcerer's Circle. They went to the Ministry of Ale. On the way, Varric decided he wanted to buy some frogs, so he went to a stall in the market square that was selling animals as food. So live animals as food. So there was caged chickens and ducks and so on and so forth. But there was some frogs in a jar. So he bought a couple of frogs and gave one to Amanita as a pet and kept one himself. Amanita called hers Varric Jr. and suggested that Varric calls his Lucy Jr. But I don't think Varric's really set on the name yet.
Wait until the frog does a few things first.
Indeed. So they headed off to the Ministry of Ale, which was a rather expensive hub. Lucy got into a spot of bother with trying to ask to join a dice game with some silver cloaks who use it as a hangout. Basically, it's full of politicians and local businessmen and the silver cloaks, the city guard. They asked to see Lucius. He was in a side room. He explained the job. The dwarf that had died was a guy called Acro Greenhammer. And he and the chief of the guards, a guy called Kuma Snatchcopper, was having a rather heated debate at their last meeting with a crag dwarf named Upcut Strongaxe, who was the local weapons master. And it was about a contract to provide the town's guard with weapons. And they were arguing over the amount of subsidy that the Brotherhood should provide and also the costs of the weapons. Later that evening, Acro was brutally murdered in the alleyway next door. Lucius agreed to support Kemlin's application to be a member of the Brotherhood and also to help grease the wheels to put the group in touch with a member of the Sorcerer's Circle. So the group agreed to do the job. Meanwhile, Amanita had befriended a couple of the Silver Cloaks and was showing them her frog. There was a little bit of a, you do realise you should have a hole in the lid of that jar you've got the frog in to enable it to breathe. And there was a bit of a panic. And Xerath handed Amanita a knife and then thought better of it. Tried to take the knife off her. Eventually took the knife off her. But Amanita took a knife out of her hat and started to pierce the lid anyway. The group then left, Lucy having been a bit malicious and went to say sorry to the two guards and offered to buy them a drink and then put their drinks and the group's drinks on their tab. A second round of drinks on their tab and then left.
To the sound of the bill landing on the table.
So outside they went to investigate the alleyway, and what they found was it smelled of urine. There was a pool of blood. It was kind of mixed with a puddle, but it started to coagulate. About a foot away from the wall, there were some logs and sticks, including a broken branch that was next to the pool of blood, and the branch had traces of blood on it. There were some bins in which the group found a pair of ladies' stockings, a muddied but sharp piece of metal, which Varric thought might be the murder weapon, but possibly not, given the amount of mud that was on it. So the group wrapped that up and took it with them. And an empty coin purse, which was worn and made of brown leather. And then Amanita found the tiniest slither of a green glass-like material amongst the cobblestones. Lucy had a theory that could be linked to the murder weapon. Varric theorised that Acro could have been having a wee and then been attacked from behind, given the smell and the proximity to the wall of the pool of blood. Next, they headed to the morgue. They encountered a mortician who was about 8 foot tall and looked a bit like Lurch from the Addams Family and spoke a bit like Lurch from the Addams Family. They examined the body. They found Acro's trousers were down around the middle of his thighs. He had a head wound, which they eventually realised had fragments of wood in it, and also he'd had a fractured skull. And eventually they also found that he had multiple, rather clean cut stab wounds in his gut. The mortician indicated that Acro did not have anything on him other than his clothes when he arrived. Lucy concluded that he had indeed been hit on the back of the head, and the mortician confirmed that his bladder was empty. So Varric had a theory that he was having a wee and got smacked on the back of the head and then attacked. Whether by the same person or not was still to be discovered. But they kind of got that was the impression. It was either that or he was up to some hanky panky in the alleyway and got hit on the back of the head. Cleo suggested speaking to the council members. Lucy wondered if it was worth speaking to Pruda, who was the proprietor of the Ministry of Ale, but didn't really want to go back there himself, having dealt with the guards. So Varric ended up going that way. Zirith, at this point, had already headed off to go and see Hugo Paucurse, who was the owner of Wondrous Wares, who's also on the council. And one of the other council members was also the art dealer that owned the shop below Egron's flat. Egron's flat, which he'd only just moved into. And we know that Acro lived above the only flat above the art dealers. So Lucy decided he and Korsk would head off to discover what was going on there. We didn't get to that point, but we did get to Zirith, who found out that Acro had sided with Kuma in the weapons debate. And it wasn't a surprise because they were in bed together in more than one way. Hugo said he had no interest in the deal himself. Zirith at that point left after being kind of pelted with flattery from Hugo, trying to get her custom in the future, given she looks quite well off. Then Varric, Cleo, and Amanita went back to the Ministry of Ale to speak to Pruda, and we discovered that she indeed confirmed that Acro and Kuma were having some sort of affair, and that Kuma was also married, so the murder may actually be a vengeance kill. And Kuma was married with children. Varric also had to pay the debt of the two guards because they recognised the group, the subset of the group that had arrived at the pub, and he was set upon by one of the guards, but eventually agreed to pay. Ended up paying 60 gold pieces when the debt was only 50, but Pruda didn't bat an eyelid at that, and obviously the tab's in credit now. After that, he noticed Amanita had gone missing again and discovered her over the other end of the bar, speaking to the same two guards that she'd spoken to earlier and convincing them to kiss the frog for good luck. She wanted to see if the stories were true about the frog turning into a prince or princess. Varric questioned whether or not she knew what the gender of the frog was, so there was a whole debate about whether or not it was a male or female frog, and then at the end they wondered whether or not it needed to be a prince or a princess that kissed the frog. but remembering that frogs could be gay too. So, we are at the point where Lucy and Korsk are approaching the art dealers and Egron's flat. What would you like to do?
I think we should get this out of the way first. Lucy, you have one resilience elixir on you from Korsk.
Okay.
And you can also take the greater potion of healing.
Okay. I don't need it right now. But I think I'm all healthy.
Anyway.
Do we know much about the art dealer? Yeah.
A bit snobby.
Well, that goes without saying.
That was it, really, I think. Yeah.
So what do we expect to find in this room then? Other than perhaps a trapdoor to a valuable art collection?
Yeah, that your guess is as good as mine. If we find there was a nice shiny dagger that caught my eye, but
caught your eye as evidence or caught your eye to take?
Why not both?
I like this thinking. Let's go on.
Okay.
So for Sam's benefit, when the group first arrived in Catan City, they did a bit of shopping. They ended up in the art dealers and took a fancy to this particular dagger, which was broken. But the lady was trying to sell it for, what was it, 15,000 or 50,000? It was a lot of money.
I think, yeah, it was more than we had.
It was more than you had.
Do I sense a strategy to pay off our bar tab?
No, well, we've also got this quest that we got set in another continent that to collect certain things, and I think the dagger belonged originally to a kingdom that has something we want. So we may possibly use it as barter.
But its value is simply symbolic then. It doesn't have any properties that we're aware of.
As far as I know, it was just a dagger with some gems on it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be keen to give it a closer look.
Also, it was missing a gem that our wizard friend was repairing. He had to make a new emerald, which is green. We found a green shard of some sort at the crime scene. Possibly could have been how it broke. I don't know.
Several unanswered questions then.
Yeah. So, she hasn't met you. Are we going to see her right now? This is Lucy asking Korsk, sorry.
Oh, sorry. The art dealer? I haven't had much cause to go down there.
Okay.
Unfortunately, some of my colleagues described me as a bit of a Philistine.
Cool. Okay, no, it's all good. Never mind.
I mean, she could have come by to buy some paints, I guess, but it's not really my specialty.
You know what? I'll save it for later. It's fine. It's all good. I didn't cause too much of a bad impression. I don't think.
See, this is the thing, Lucy. If you're going to create impressions, shall we say, for our advantage, you need to keep your more egregious behaviour on the side, preferably when their backs are turned.
I think I did. I think she thought I was just a proprietor of the arts. Or
If you
someone.
if you got that far, that's a very good start. Plenty of reason for you to be on the premises, and if a few items go missing, then that's just, just fate.
Yeah.
So I suppose we go up to the building, and are we heading by the art dealer or going straight there?
Are you going to the flat or the art dealer? So the art dealer is a member of the Brotherhood.
But sorry, I just need to check my understanding here. So they're part of the same kind of apartment, so to speak, just on different levels?
There's a staircase up to the flat, so you don't have to go into the art dealers to get to the flat.
Yeah, okay.
I'll look up to you, of course, because Mike is not great.
We need to take a look at the scene, if we can. It seems like we're suffering from a lack of overall evidence as to the who of this investigation.
To the flat it is, then?
Ooh. So you head up the stairs. You knock on the door. And the door creaks open. And the same two yellow eyes peep out. And then the door flings open and Harmony beckons you in. You walk in.
Hey, Harmony, how's it going?
Egron is nowhere to be seen.
Where's the boss man?
And he points to the door.
Did he finish the crystal yet?
For how long? Oh, how long? Okay. So, okay. So, turn to Lucy. Do you think he will mind if we look around, or should we give a pretext first?
One more question, Harmony. Is he out for official reasons, or has he gone to play? No play? Okay. I think we've been asked to look into a certain murder. I think the guy used to live here. Do you know much about? Is there anything left over from the last tenant?
And he walks over to the neatly piled pile of boxes that were there last time. So basically Egron's stuff's just all over the place, but in this one corner there is a number of neatly stacked boxes, wooden crates effectively. And he points at the crates and beckons you.
Great. So I guess we should look through it and...
Let's take the lids off. No, never hurt anyone.
Well, I don't know about that.
Cool.
Opened the box and I fell in a hole.
Cool. I'm just looking for something.
The world opens up and Lucy falls in another hole.
Didn't realise there were such things as crates of holding.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
So you start looking through the crates, and in there, hang on a minute, you find Let me just go to the general chat and I will post something. So you find he looked fairly tidy. All his clothes and things were freshly pressed. There was a bin which Ekron hadn't emptied. It just looked as though it was waste paper. There were signs of things, a document that had been burnt. Let me just once I can find the right.
Is it burnt into fragments, or is it just the paper is charred and we can't see the writing on it?
You can see an element of writing. If you look in the chat, that is what you can see.
Eviction or conviction, perhaps?
So it says Ite to tenancy, and then ripped eviction under, or fiction under.
Right to tenancy revoked, eviction under a certain number of days, perhaps?
Maybe under review?
I mean, he left very recently. It sounds like he wouldn't have. Plus, he wouldn't have left so much of his equipment behind, surely, if he had to leave.
Oh.
If he had to leave in his own time.
To be fair, he's dead. Maybe he was going to pick it up later. I don't know.
Is there anything else inside the box that might be of interest, like personal effects?
Not particularly. He looked as though he was a fairly tidy individual. Clothes and things mainly.
Are they good quality clothes or poor quality?
Yeah. I mean, he worked at the local mint, so
Okay.
he was quite well.
Are we going to see the art dealer after this, do you think, Korsk?
I have no particular reason for wanting to go in, unless you want to take a closer look at the knife while we're here.
Well, I just thought of a really funny interrogation technique.
Go on.
You could maybe ask her some questions about the eviction, and if it doesn't seem like she's forthcoming, possibly the man himself could reappear.
The man himself being the former tenant, then.
Yeah, we've got his clothes. Somebody could maybe turn into him. If she has a guilty conscience, maybe she'll think she's been haunted by her misdeeds. Who knows? Or I might just give her some psychological damage. But either way, it might be funny.
And you can manage this in a short time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's give it a shot. So we head down to the art dealer.
Okay.
I'm going to just look at the clothes just so I know what he would have been wearing in general.
Okay.
But I'm not going to take them.
Okay. So, Korsk, You head into the shop, and you see a lady, rather well-to-do halfling, talking to a couple of people. And as you can see, it's completely exquisite. Now, I'm not normally one to offer a discount, but I can give it to you for 2,000 gold pieces. This is a one-off offer. Nobody else has had this offer. But you are a special customer, and this is a historically significant piece.
Can I see what piece she's talking about? Is it just a painting?
It's a dagger.
Immediately flicks eyes at Lucy, and then just trying to think how to play this. Okay, Course will immediately walk in just through the middle of the people who are actively talking to her, and say, "No, I'm sorry, madam. I need to speak to you urgently about a tenant upstairs. Furthermore, I have to doubt that in the value of your one-off offer, 2,000 gold pieces. It's hardly chump change, even to the nobility around here."
She looks round and, surprised by your appearance given the voice, and she looks around, she's like, sorry, dearie. You completely shocked me. Let me finish with these customers, and I will be with you in 2 minutes. Now,
This cannot wait, madam. You've got some urgent business on your door right now, and
I've got an urgent sale I need to make. Now, are you interested? And then the two customers are like, looks at Korsk, looks at her. We'd like to think it over. Why don't you talk to that gentleman, and we'll pop back later. Come on. And then him and his wife disappear out the door. Now, what is it, dearie? What can I help you with?
I mean, other than some advice for your sales pitch, do you believe that on what terms were you with the man who lived above your place of business?
Egron? Well, he does work for me every now and again, does Egron? He's got a bit of a gambling problem, though.
Like a handyman, runs errands, that sort of thing?
No, he cuts jewels, dear. He cuts jewels. Yes, he's only a recent tenant, though. He's only a recent tenant. My old tenant, unfortunately, he passed away recently, suddenly.
Do you know the circumstances of this? It seems that building may have some sort of curse on it, surely.
No, nothing like that, dear. Well, he had to spot a bother in one of the pubs in the city. Was murdered. It was stabbed to death in the alleyway. Poor soul.
Do you know the name of the... of course, would give the name of the pub. I think it's the Ministry of Ale.
Yes, indeed. That's the one, yes.
Interesting. Do you believe he will be returning for his effects? It seems like he left in rather a hurry.
I told you he was murdered.
Ah, yes, but you cannot trust dealings with the individuals who live in cursed buildings. And he's going to go, "No, sir. No, sir."
Oh, Lucy's not in with you at the moment, but Wayne has a message.
So like if Korska's ending up bluffing with this lady for another 5 minutes, he's going to send Pyro out to come and shock you if you don't come in.
Oh, Lucy's close. Just depends how Wayne wants to play this.
Is that a good smile?
No, I want him to kind of be as pale as he saw him in the morgue.
Okay, so you want him to look like he did in the morgue. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing? You walking in?
Well, Lucy's just waiting at the window, pretty much as the body is in the morgue, just staring at the art dealer, waiting to catch her eye. And as soon as the art dealer does see him, he'll move past the window, turn back into himself and come in the door. Out of view.
Yeah. I told you, this place is not good.
And by the time Korska's turned around, Lucy's already moved.
She kind of goes white with fright, just kind of blinking and then she kind of blinks a little bit and Lucy walks in going, and then kind of tries to put it, "No, dearie, I'm just with this gentleman. I'll be there in a minute, okay?"
Sure. I will say periodically.
Sorry, I referred to you as a gentleman. I'm not quite sure what the official term is for a whatever you are.
That's just a Korsk.
Okay, I'm busy with Mr. Korsk.
No problem. Take your time.
Uh,
I will note that periodically, just at the corner of the art dealer's eye, he will sort of flash change into the guy again and back into himself.
Are you right, madam? You seem to be, I don't know, have you taken substances or something? And he says that very loudly.
No, I've not been sleeping well lately. I think I'm beginning to see a few things out of the corner of my eye.
I mean, that is. I had a colleague who went through exactly these circumstances at the the college. He said the symptoms began in exactly the same way. It was all after he visited that horrible crypt with the ghouls and the former crypt of the necromancer. I think it was. It stays with you. Those sorts of events.
I can assure you, I have had no such experience. Thank you very much.
But you did go. You did have contact with the lodgers upstairs, though.
Ooh, yes, but not. I.
So tell me some more about them. It might help. It might help. Guess us some resolution for your problem.
Oh, he kept himself to himself. Well, he was a little bit noisy now and again. Used to have a particular visitor that used to come round. One of the town guards used to visit quite regularly. Either he was helping them do something, or was in quite a spot of bother. He did work at the mint, you know, so I suspect he was maybe leaving some coin. Anyway, I didn't want him. Unfortunately, I didn't really like him being there. But what can you do, dearie? Out of my hands. He had a contract.
Out of your hands, but you know the contract, so was he contracting with you then?
Yes, I'm his landlady. He signed the contract fair and square, looked like an upstanding citizen. Until all this bother with the town guard started.
What powers did you have in the contract, again?
How do you mean?
As in, under what terms would he have to leave the building permanently?
Well, if he damaged the property, of course. Or was a nuisance to my business. Or, he was threatening to me, or, yes, there was a few circumstances. I'd have to speak to my lawyer to understand what it is completely, but yes,
Did any
we did look at that, but fortunately, yes, he was, as I said, he was obviously in bad company, that's why.
So you did feel threatened by him, or that your business would be threatened?
I felt that it would be bad for business if it was known that either that he was being frequently visited by the town guard.
And now we come to the most important point of unraveling this curse. Did you use that reason to serve him an eviction notice?
I wouldn't say it came to that. I would say that it, I certainly tried to evict him. I threatened him. I said he needed to find somewhere else to live.
Of course, all this is very reasonable.
I did not give him any formal eviction notice. He was speaking to his lawyer, I believe. But on speaking to my lawyer, my hands were tied. I could only verbally ask him to leave. I couldn't force him.
So when the room became vacant then, this was because of his death, or did he leave beforehand?
It was because of his death, dearie. But luckily, we found, Mr. Egron came along a few days later. It's fairly apt, and he has a few bad gambling problems, but he does a lot of work for me, and as long as he doesn't bring trouble to my door, I am perfectly happy with what he does away from me.
I mean, all honourable gentlemen have a couple of flaws they have to deal with, but regarding the visit by the town's guard, I'm curious, was your previous tenant visited in a similar way?
What do you mean, sorry?
The tenant before the one who died recently. Was he also receiving regular visitors?
No, dearie, I was using it as a storeroom at that point, but I've since got a warehouse, somewhere in the city, somewhere nice and secure. That's why a lot of our more expensive exhibits here, viewable by appointment only.
Wayne, Lucy sent you a thing that he's going to do at this moment in time.
Okay. So she has it in her hand, the dagger. Upon seeing Lucy approach,
Disguised as
the body, she jumps in the air, but keeps hold of the dagger, holds it out, kind of, as you disappear, she's kind of randomly flailing. Could you do a sleight of hand with disadvantage, please?
disadvantage. Oh no. Oh wait, shit. Nine.
You try to grab the dagger as she kind of stabs, a space next to you, but you fail to get anywhere near.
Cool. I'll just stay invisible then. And silent.
She rolled a natural 20 when I did the wisdom save of is she scared?
Ooh.
So Corsa's just jumped back while all this flailing and struggling with what appears to be a ghost is going on, and he's just screaming at her to calm down and trying to make as much of a scene as possible. I don't know if the other customers are still in there.
She's shouting, "Get out! Get out! Get away from me! Go on! Get out!"
Well, I guess in for a penny, in for a pound. Korska's going to back up and pull out his pipes of haunting and use those.
Okay.
So, same thing, wisdom save. And if it works, she's terrified of him. That should get her attention.
Yep, she rolled a 12. So she's failed.
Disadvantage on ability checks. Okay. The problem is now she's looking directly at Korsk, so I can't do anything.
So she's kind of scared of you now as well, is she?
Yeah, so Korsk is just trying to make it out like he's just the innocent citizen. He's just backing up to the window now.
So she looks at you, white with fright, and then jumps over the counter and screams in the back to somebody in the back room to try and help her. But nobody's there. And she's like, "Where are you, you idiot? Where are you?"
I'm right in front of you. Calm down and put the dagger away. We can talk about this like reasonable people.
"No, you out now."
Okay. Your loss. Okay, listen, it's your last chance, mate.
Lucy will dispel the invisibility as the ghost.
Okay.
Oh, you became visible.
Yep.
Okay.
Just for a sec.
I'll let you finish, but then I can respond to that.
And
I'm not sure if these spells are concentration, by the way, but
it's not. My invisibility was, but it's the only one so far.
but the disguise self isn't.
No, that's a cantrip, and it is VNS, not components, but not. Yeah, it's just an Eldritch Invocation.
Cool. Right.
So you'll turn back into the ghost. And just say, "Tell the truth," and ask her to do a wisdom save at disadvantage, please.
I. You were nothing but trouble. I had no other choice. Please, leave me.
All right. Of course, I'm going to guess this is what we're going for right now. Korsk is going to cast invisibility on himself. He's going to go back in and I don't know how this is going to work, but he's going to attempt to switch the valuable dagger with one of his own.
So she's still got the dagger in her hand.
Okay.
So she's holding it up quite tightly.
Yeah.
She's kind of backing into a corner at the moment.
Using the distorted voice, I think then Lucy will say, "I must protect myself in the afterlife,
No, please.
but I have no weapons."
No. Don't hurt me. You can have the dagger. Just don't use it on me. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't
He'll just slowly hold out
want
his
to do it.
hand.
You made me.
He'll slowly hold out his hand.
She hands over the dagger.
As he takes it. If you want rid of me, tell the truth. And then he'll just disappear again. Invisible and back away.
She's now in a ball in the corner on the floor.
So I
Shaking
guess
like me.
if I can see Korsk outside. And are you visible or are you there?
Does she, I
You're
feel
still
bad for-
invisible, aren't you?
I feel bad for asking, but she wouldn't happen to have like a bag of coins behind the counter, would she?
Oh, do it. It's fine. We do it all the time.
As a player, I feel bad about this, but I know Korsk would want to do that.
So you look in the counter. There is no money on the counter itself. However, the door to the back room is open.
And this whole time, Lucy will still be in the distorted voice. Tell the truth.
Let's take a glance in the back room then. Maintaining invisibility.
So in there you find a desk and a workstation for like jewelry crafts and things. A number of blank canvases and paints.
Does she keep like official documents in her desk at all?
You open the desk, you find a bag of around 8,000 gold pieces.
Let's try and take it.
You're just going to take it.
Yeah.
Cool. You take the 8,000 gold pieces.
This poor old lady.
Right,
Yeah, I think it does bear noting that she hasn't exactly done anything bad to us.
Well, she's hiding something
It's like withholding information is like,
and overcharging. And overcharging.
yes, that too. Okay. So honestly, I can't think of any questions or way to push this any further. So Korsk will go outside and drop invisibility.
Lucy's still going to be whispering, tell the truth.
You know the truth.
Tell the truth.
I did it, okay?
Tell the truth.
You just wouldn't leave when I wanted you to.
Tell the truth.
It was so easy. You were just there when I left. Doing your business in the alleyway.
Tell the truth.
You saw the big log. I hit you around the head and you went down, but you were still alive, still breathing, so I turned you over and stabbed you in the gut a few times. You struggled a bit and I lost the emerald in the dagger and I tried to pick up the bits I could and then I'm sorry, okay? If you just left when I asked you, you'd still be alive. Just don't hurt me.
No, you have to tell the truth. But not to me. I'll be back. And at that point, Lucy will sneak outside for a second and then drop the invisibility in skies and tell Korsk what the lady just said.
Okay, So,
That
what I will-
method would. Oh, sorry.
okay, conscious we've been going for 45
Yeah.
minutes. I think what I would like to do is just switch back to the inn and Amanita and Varric, see what they're up to.
That. What happened when we left? Like when we left off last time.
So you just had the kissing frogs thing and the frogs can be gay too conversation. So you, Cleo, and Amanita are still in the pub. What are you wanting to do next?
I'm just trying to get a recollection of what we did last time. Just trying
Put
to
you on
remember.
the spot now, haven't I?
Yeah, no, yeah. That's it.
So you can head to Egron's to try and meet up with Lucy. You could go to Kuma.
Cleo, Amanita, what do you think we should be doing next? I think we've got all the information that we can out of this establishment.
I think we should get a home for our frog.
I think we should get a home for our frogs too. That'd be cool. But in terms of this investigation that we're meant to be conducting, what else do we need to be doing? I think we should head elsewhere now, but I don't know where.
Well, it was clear the victim had some involvement with Mr. Snatchcopper. Maybe we could investigate that avenue of clue investigation. Either speak to him or his wife, perhaps.
Maybe a
that
good
sounds like a
idea.
plan. Yeah.
You're so smart.
I am here to guide you.
I think this is the first bit of guidance I received from you, Cleo. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, yeah, let's go see. Is it Snatchcopper?
Yeah.
Let's go see him and ask him a couple bits and pieces.
So the guardhouse is in the Emperor's Barracks, near to the morgue. You make your way from the government buildings round the Silver Planet Palace and its shiny turrets, shiny round turrets, and into the Emperor's Barracks. The guardhouse itself has a couple of silver cloaks outside, and you approach. Can I help you?
Hi there. We're here to talk to Mr. Snatchcopper.
Sergeant Snatchcopper, eh?
Yeah.
He's in there? What's it about?
The assault and murder of Mr. Akron, of which we were told to investigate, and as such we're coming to discuss our findings. No, not... Yeah.
Didn't realise there was another... He'd contracted out.
Yeah, better to have a couple of groups, he said, to find out a multitude of information, from having to go around different areas and ask certain questions to different peoples and such.
Okay. Must admit, his choice of detectives is unique. He's in there. Second door on the left.
Thanks. Head on him.
Head on him. And second door on the left has Sergeant Kuma Snatchcopper. You knocking on the door?
Now, guys, before we enter, what are the questions that we want to ask this gentleman?
Well, clearly we know he's having a sordid affair with the, or been having a sordid affair with the victim. But also he's been doing his own investigation, so maybe we should ask him what he's uncovered.
Well, I think that's a good idea. Should we play it off as we're friends of his, or do we just play it off as we're another group of investigators?
I think he may not warm to us if we come across as an investigator. But also, he may not know us if we would anticipate that he would know his lovers' friends. So I don't think there's a right answer here.
Would you keep your friends close if you knew that they were going to be aware of an affair of yours? I mean, in my circumstance, I don't think I would keep them close. I think I would try and keep it on the side, if you know what I mean.
There seemed to be quite a bit of the Brotherhood who knew though.
That's true. Yeah, I suppose. I will blur the lines. It'll be fine. We'll shake it up. We'll figure it out. I'm sure.
Okay. I will let you guys take the lead and chip in as needed.
You ready for this, Sam, Anita?
Let's go.
I knock on the door.
Come.
Hi, Sergeant Snatchcopper. My name is Varric. I was just hoping I could have a bit of your time. Well, me and my friends could have a bit of your time quickly.
So in there you see a dwarf with a beard plaited in about 4 or 5 small plaits, kind of almost up to his face, going down. So they're it's like almost like pigtails in reverse, but multiples of them. He's got his hair kind of plaited as well, dark hair. He's in the Silver Cloak's uniform, really shiny, but he's the first dwarven Silver Cloak you've seen. Okay. What can I do for you?
We were just hoping to ask some questions about Mr. Akron and his passing. If that was okay with you, I don't want to intrude on anything you might be doing.
Well, depends why you're asking.
We're old, long-distance friends of his, and I'd recently come to town to see if I could catch him on the off chance. I'd heard he was here, and unfortunately, I've only been recently told about what's been going on, so I was just hoping to figure some bits and pieces out.
Could you do a persuasion roll, please?
Oh no.
Actually, probably deception is probably the right one to go for, rather than persuasion.
Not great. 7.
Old friends, eh?
Yep.
Where do you come from?
I come from all over, really. I bumped into him while I was traveling from my home country. Just on the off chance, a good few years ago now. At least 10.
No offense, pal. but you don't look like somebody who would be one of his friends.
Yeah.
It's not really regular for a dwarf and a dragonborn to be acquainted.
Believe me, I was surprised too. My long service in the military is, led me to believe I couldn't be friends with any other dwarf. But Mr. Akron surprised me in that way. And I would like to hope that we were quite close in that regard.
Strange. Never heard him mention you.
was a
With
long
that,
time ago.
Amanita will come round Varric's cloak and be like, I think it's more the fact that me and him are friends. I mean, he did give me a frog. Look at it.
I have no idea what question I want to ask as a result of that.
You don't
Don't
like
remember
it?
info. Well, you're right as far as frogs go. Oh, I'm just a bit confused that I've never seen. I think he definitely would have mentioned a fairy to me.
It was our secret. He told me he would keep it a secret.
Yeah, well, one thing about Acro, he liked his secrets. So,
Well, I did.
what you doing with the information?
Just trying to get a sense of closure, I guess.
Me and him were best friends. I just want to know what happened to my friend. She starts to fake, that's just starting to tear up.
All right, Emily, don't worry. We'll figure it out one way or another, with the help or without the help of Sergeant Snatchcopper here.
It's not fair.
I know.
Okay, look, we don't know much at this point. All we know is there's several avenues of investigation. But there's one I can think of that is looking promising, and that's his landlady was trying to oust him from where he lived. He didn't like it. He was on to his lawyer about it. Said he had a letter from his lawyer saying that couldn't evict her. She couldn't evict him. Something about right of tenancy and meeting. And there was only certain clauses in which she had the right to eviction. And none of those clauses had been met.
Right.
It wasn't quite clear why, as far as I'm aware, it wasn't quite clear why he was asking these questions, but she said to what rid of him. Perhaps you want to start in that neck of the woods.
That's a great deal of help. Thank you, Sergeant. I hate to ask this. Do you know how he unfortunately met his end? I hate to think it'd be something totally dreadful.
From what we can see, he was taking a piss in the alleyway. Somebody smacked him on the back of the head with a log. There was blood up the wall, as far as we can see, and stabbed him to death 20 odd times with some sort of dagger or knife.
It's really
Quite sharp
unfortunate.
blade on it.
Yeah. That's awful. That's much more grisly than what I had anticipated. I don't suppose. No, never mind. Actually, I imagine his personal belongings are kept elsewhere and such.
They're in his flat, I believe. We've not been there to pick them up yet. I've asked the old wizard that lives there now to keep them to one side for when we get there.
Well, I don't think I have any
Take
more
a look.
questions.
There might be something in there sentimental, but if you see anything that could indicate the who's responsible, you might want to excuse me, you might want to send it my way if you don't mind.
Of course.
And try not to get in the way of my investigation, yeah?
No, of course not. Absolutely. No. I hope it all goes well for you, Sergeant, and hopefully we can get a joint sense of closure after this whole deal.
Okay, no bother. Well, I've got work to be getting on with, so appreciate you coming along and saying hello. I'll let my boys know if they see you around to let you have a look around if needs be. But as I say, I understand this is closure for the wee girl there, and I appreciate that. You know, we all need closure of some thought or another.
Yeah, for sure.
And he kind of starts staring out the window. The glint, a small glint of a tear in his eye.
Thanks for your time, Sergeant. We'll if we find anything, we'll come see you. See ya. I kind of turned to head out the door.
Cool. So at that point, I assume you head towards Egron's flat.
Would you? Or I do, anyway. I don't know if anyone else is going.
Yeah, Mom will join and she'll be like, "We did it! Can't believe they fell for it!"
I know, that was pretty good acting, wasn't it? Well done, Amanita.
So,
I'm a natural.
Apparently so.
So, shall we go back to Korsk and then?
Yeah, this is going to be instant.
Sorry, we have been discussing things in character while you guys are doing that.
Are we doing that?
In general chat.
It's going to get a bit dark.
Would you like to give a summary?
So basically,
After you. No.
So basically, we decided that she's probably going to remain curled up in the ball in the back of the shop for about an hour. But after that, we would have to make a quick getaway. So what we decided to do is we're going to put her in the back room, gag her, and
tie her up.
And tie her up. And we basically sent Pyrite to go get Varrock and Amanita to regroup, and then he's going to immediately go and get the Brotherhood to arrive with a cab, after which we'll hand her over.
You only get, you probably wouldn't be able to get the whole Brotherhood, but you would be able to get Lucius.
Lucius, probably. Yeah.
Just a representative with means to, not basically carry the poor woman through the street, basically.
Okay. Cool. So, I'm guessing you enact as that plan.
Yeah.
Fast forward a bit. Lucius rocks up, and a couple of silver cloaks in tow. By that point, Amanita and Varrock have reappeared. No sign of Zirith, though, for some reason, at this point in time.
So Korsk is keeping an eye on the art dealer for the next few minutes. Pyro is just flying around Varrock's head and trying to just whispering in constantly into his ear, like, The art dealer.
Come on, man, thing, whatever. Get on my ear.
Yeah. When you mention it, he kind of leans over and goes,
Get away, this team.
You will see them come in and go, so how'd you get on?
I found out that the kissing a frog thing doesn't work.
Oh, really?
No, it didn't turn into a breed.
Well, that was a pointless purchase. I've got 4 of them in my pants. It's just...
Why'd you have 4 frogs?
Well, you know. I don't know, how many I might have been right. So I've got 4 of them.
Alright, well, whatever.
That's today's title.
Did Pyrite inform them of what had happened, or no?
not yet. Just told them to come to the art dealer.
All this thing that, of course, keeps around him is whispering in my ear, and it's really irritating me.
Well, we kind of found the killer.
Oh, just casually, the first stop you go to, that's it, you find them?
Technically
Great.
second.
Technically second? Well, where'd you go first?
We went upstairs.
Yep. Alright. Okay. Well,
yeah. I don't remember the details. I was in character. But, you know, we kind of scared her, and she admitted that she knocked him out and then turned him over and stabbed him because he was still alive.
right. Why did she say why she did it? I mean, I have a general idea, but...
I'm going to say she did. Take it away, Court. No, Lucy, this is...
just in the back room.
Yeah, this is pure Lucy. Just like, Maybe
I'm sure
he
it was
was
something
distracted
along
by
the...
the shiny dagger.
Just to be clear, she was a bit worried that the Silvercloaks kept visiting her and decided to evict him, but didn't quite have the right to evict him. Lawyers were getting involved, so she took the easy route out and killed him.
I do remember she said one thing that we should maybe look into before she gets taken away.
And that was...
Well, she said she has a warehouse with more valuable things.
I lean into Lucy's ear. Find a key. Find the location. We can go there later. That's fine. But
Done! Lucy runs straight back. Removes the gag. Hey, where's your warehouse?
Walter just looks up from some potions he's brewing, like...
She's delirious at this point. Listen, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I'm sorry, okay?
I'm guessing Varric arrived.
I would. Sorry?
I'm guessing Varric arrived.
yeah, well, I see Lucy run in, and I hadn't finished talking yet, and I can just walk in afterwards.
Lucy will turn to Varric and just throw the distorted voice behind him, saying, "Give up your possessions and I will go."
Something's whispering the back of my neck again. I mean, what?
Oh, I'll fix that. All right. And he immediately flies over and settles on Corsa's shoulders.
There's gold in the desk. Gold in the desk.
We're not here to...
House. Be free.
I'm gonna need to hear this.
Possibly.
If you came in with me, then I imagine you'd heard it, yeah.
She's kind of like standing there thinking, where can she remember this voice from?
This one's a little different, but yeah, it could be similar. If that voice was real.
Does it? Something seems familiar, but she just like shrugs it off like,
I Hammond's coin screw. He owns the warehouse. I have to ask him to get things for me. He takes a cut.
And how do you contact him? This is just as Lucy, he turns around as she's saying this.
I send my assistant to the pawnbrokers.
Your assistant?
Yeah. The klutz. He's not here at the moment. I don't know where he is. He must have got caught in a card game or something, or be off doing something. There was some shopping we needed.
Lucy, can I talk to you very quickly?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think...
As he leaves, go over to Varric, he will just make the sound of just next to our art dealer friend.
Now, I don't know if you remember the name Coin Screw, perchance.
I do. Yeah, I remember.
I don't think that venture is particularly a good one anymore. It's an idea, but I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole at the minute, at least.
Lucy will go, well, let's just wait and see.
Wait and see. Lucy, that's not a good idea.
Is it though?
I was for it if it was a private investment, but it's not private, it's a...
I don't think Coin Screw's after us.
I would disagree.
I would certainly disagree.
Yeah, but you're always a sport, Cleo.
Well, you've had a twisted coin or a screwed coin in a severed head delivered to you. Somehow I think that is a message that he is after you.
Unless someone's just wanting it to look like he's after us.
But why would they do... Like, say if perchance that our other patron has organized that. What does he stand to gain from that? Like, there's no...
I don't know. Maybe he wants us to fight them. I don't know. Anyway, that's for another day. Fine, I'll leave it for now.
It's an idea, but this is already going to get us to hot weather with them again, I dare say.
Okay. Oh, Amanita, remember that shiny dagger? That she wouldn't let us buy because it was too expensive.
Ooh, yeah.
She gave me it!
No.
Yeah! It's so shiny!
You should have been there. It was truly a feat of haggling.
Also, it's the murder weapon.
Can't say that. Keep that in your pants.
Okay.
Keep the dagger in your pants.
Keep the dagger in your pants. Is that a dagger in your pants, or you happy to see me? No, just...
Why not both? So anyway, I think we're just waiting, I guess. So I'll put the gag back on her. And go, so yeah, I think we're just waiting for... Lucius?
What kind of... Hold on. What kind of items would an art dealer require from a crime lord?
No,
Expensive ones.
She's an art dealer, quotation marks. I think she deals in exquisite bits of pieces. So if you have a nice dagger, you could sell it through her, I'm sure. Or case in point with the item Lucy has just stored, it's other bits and pieces. So like, I think art pieces are here, but I think if we're looking for other things, they'll be here too. I think.
Of course, could you roll a insight check, please?
Ooh, insight.
And upon hearing that, Lucy's going to start looking around.
I mean, if it's just a heads up, if it's an awareness, then I'll have Pyrite roll it as well. But
okay, roll Pyrite for it as well.
For insight. No point. He's not trained. No.
Okay, fine. It's not an investigation thing, it's an insight thing. It's more a making a conclusion from something you've already.
Yeah.
On whether or not you make that conclusion, but you haven't.
Yeah, of course, doesn't care too much. As far as he's concerned, the job is over.
Of course, can you remember how much Lucius said he was going to pay us for this information?
I must admit, I didn't write that down.
So the original reward was 2,000 gold pieces. However, in lieu of that, he was going to support Kemlin's application to join the Brotherhood, and then also grease the wheels to allow you to meet with a member of the Sorcerer's Circle.
I remember all that now, so that's fine. Cool, no worries. That works out.
Was there something else you wanted to get out of this job?
No, I was just trying to remember. I had a bigger lump sum of money in my head, but that's fine.
Oh, you mean like this? And he pulls out the... how many gold pieces was it again? In the
8,000.
That's a lot of coin.
Nice.
It's almost like the job economy in this city is absolutely backwards.
Hey, this is a private art dealer. I'm sure you can get a lot of money. Anyway, are you sharing that, or is that for you? Curious.
I see no reason why not to share it. I wouldn't have come here otherwise.
Oh, there we are then.
Oh, we get you a password. There is a group bank account. I forgot about that.
It's there now.
Yeah!
One has shouted.
Yeah,
Was, I believe, one of the passwords.
I believe so.
Is there interest?
I don't know. We never asked.
Nah.
I think it's like a holding.
Just
thing.
more keeping your money safe.
Yeah.
Providing there's a branch. Liquidity might be a bit of a problem, given the... In Elves Edge, for example, the branch was boarded up. So they couldn't get access to their money.
But to be fair, the other option is in my pants.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to have a adventure where the group lose all their money due to insolvency of the. I'm going to recommend it.
Oh,
Don't give my ideas. That's it.
Just saying, I've never played a game where that actually happened.
Titan banking crisis.
Could be.
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely fine with putting that in the bank when we go, right?
Oh. So.
Of course, might keep a few hundred.
That's fair. He did. Find it.
Yeah. So at that point, you start to hear hooves of horses, and you see a carriage appearing with some silver cloaks on the front of it. Pardon me. Out pops.
Before they come in, I'll probably just whisper, should we keep her tied up and gagged? For
Yes.
them coming in?
She's a murderer.
Okay, cool.
I would reason that argument.
Out pops Lucius and Kuma.
Oh no.
Kuma looks at Varric. I see you were quack.
Yep. I gotta avenge my old friends. You know how it goes.
Indeed. So, what's the crack?
Lucy, can you drag her through here, please? Not by the face. Like, grab her by the...
It's a good thing you said that. He was literally going to just drag her in.
just by the heel. Let's just grab her by the ankle, pull her through.
I'll probably get her to stand up and make her hop.
So all you hear is.
I am under the fair assumption we've heard a confession from this lady. She has admitted to murdering our friend Akron, and she gave a detailed description of the events, of where it happened, how it happened, and then also gave potential reason as to why. So I think if you push her on the matter, I don't think she'll bite.
Do you want her to say it again?
Not now, Lucy. Don't do
Okay.
it.
No, let me. Ungaga. I'll ask her myself.
Ching! And I'll put the gag back in my pocket.
In the
Sorry.
pocket.
I know the choice was. Did you kill Acro? I know the choice. He wouldn't move out. There was guards all there, all the time. Silver cloaks visiting. He was in trouble. Did you kill Acro? And he gets his sword out and he just puts it under a chin there.
At that point, you will hear again a...
Yes, I did. I'm sorry. And she slumps down to the ground. Come on. That's not the way we do justice in this city.
Works, though.
Just justice. A just justice.
It was quick, wasn't it? I thought that was all you cared about.
He wipes his sword on her dress before putting it away, before sheathing it. Let's paperwork this way. Come on, let's get gone.
Oh, one more thing. I think she works with Coinscrew. I don't know if that's important to you guys, but just a heads up.
He's a businessman. He has his fingers in plenty of pies as far as I'm concerned. Don't think we can pin anything on him at this point in time, though. But good to know.
So should we do anything, or what happens here?
We'll take care of the body. Lucius, kind of... Come on, you can travel back to the ministry with me. We have matters to discuss.
Right. Now, this place, I imagine, just very quickly is going to go on lockdown, I'm sure. We have a gentleman upstairs who's doing a bit of work for us. He lives in, he was the current tenant. Will he be affected, or do we need to find him somewhere else to stay, or...
No. He'll be fine.
Awesome. Let's go, then. I don't think...
So you get into the carriage with...
Before the guards and Lucy leaves, he will ask, "Can I get my rope back?"
Yeah, grab it quickly, it's fine, I'm sure.
You're allowed to untie the dead body. You get into the carriage, and he starts taking you. One of the silver cloaks on the front decides to kind of act as driver and take you back. The other one stays with Kuma to deal with the body and go and get some guards to kind of watch the shop effectively. On the way back, Kuma starts to have a conversation with you. Well, not the way I'd hoped that it would end, but well done for getting to the bottom of it. I'm sorry about Kuma. He's a bit emotional. Him and Acro were quite close.
So I've heard.
Yeah, he
Quite
was.
closest.
Well, it was always going to end in tears one way or another, I guess. But, let us... How should I put it? Let us talk about your reward. So, both myself and Kuma will vote in favor of your friend Mr. Aurelius to join the Brotherhood, which would leave 10 each, but I'm sure we could. Well, no, actually, that would only leave Mr. Hugo Paucurse. So, actually, I'm forgetting. Belle de Bar is no longer a member, is she? She's no longer with us. So, with two of our members, two members of the council out of action, that leaves only 3 of us. So, you can tell Mr. Aurelius that we would happily welcome Brotherhood. On the other matter, I believe I did promise to arrange a meeting. I believe one of the sorcerers is on the Sorcerer's Circle, is due in the city in the next week or so. Once he arrives, I will arrange a meeting. He's a interesting character, not the most personable person in the world, but he has a bit of a silver tongue as well at the same time. How should I put it? You don't feel like he's quite pleasant in conversation, but afterwards you don't quite feel like the conversation has gone your way. I will warn you of that up front. But he should be able to supply you with whatever information ever circle. I will let Mr. Aurelius know when the arrangements have been made. In the meantime, I suggest you hang around. Find yourself some work, perhaps. So,
Sure, we'll find something to do.
indeed. And at that point, the carriage pulls up at the pub. He jumps out. Invites you to jump out as well.
If pants are on you, I'm coming. I'm not gonna.
It's here we part ways. I've got work to be getting. But my driver's going to take my carriage round back to park up. I will give you a letter for Mr. Aurelius. And he hands you an envelope. And I wish you well on your journey back.
Just before you go, Mr. Lucius, what about the gold can't remember our particular arrangement on that. I can't remember if you said we could have the gold.
It was in place of the gold,
Oh,
wasn't
in place of the gold, right? Okay.
Yes. So, would have been 2,000 gold, but unfortunately, you wanted other things. And I believe the meeting will suffice as my part of the bargain.
Well, if anything else comes up, you know where we are.
So,
And as you can see, we're very effective.
From assassination to burglary to murder investigation, we are not criminals, but mercenaries for hire.
Well, I don't think we've ever burgled Mr. Lucius, or
I mean, officially endorsed. I wouldn't ever consider doing it off the books unless the government told me to do so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Volska's just looking between Varric and Lucio, just wondering what on earth he got himself into.
So at that point, what do you want to do next? It is about 10 in the evening by the time you've done all that toing and throwing. So you can head back to the refugee camp, or you can do what you will.
I would vote for refugee camp. We hand over the letter, and then hopefully our lad has somewhere for us to stay.
He does. You've already been in your tents. You know what where they are. They're just to one side of the blacksmiths in the refugee camp.
Mm-hmm. Unless anyone has something they'd like to do.
I can't think of anything. I don't need to do anything. It doesn't matter. We'll go to the refugee camp. It's fine.
So, you head away on foot. Through the government buildings, south to the market square. Almost doubling back on yourself from where you'd been earlier. Could you do a perception roll, please? All of you.
Is that awareness?
That would be a critical 22.
Perception. Oh, right. Sorry. Thinking in terms of 40k.
If that is hopefully enough.
I got an 8.
Also still thinking about the frogs.
Lucy is nervous as hell and definitely looking.
So, at this point in time, it is, other than around bars, Silver Steel Inn, for example, it is relatively empty. As you walk down the streets, you try and stick to the middle of the market square, then you're going down the busiest streets, having been followed previously, you suspect. Lucy, you hear, and Amanita, you both hear footsteps behind you. As you turn, you see somebody duck down an alleyway, as though trying to keep out of your sight.
Guys, we're being followed.
Oh no, not again.
This is great. Like being tailed so much.
Did you see anything about them? Any more details?
Did we win?
No, you just saw a shadow. A hooded figure.
Nope.
That's probably,
A hooded figure.
well, there's probably just a night reveler or someone looking for an easy mark. Let's carry on.
I saw it too. I don't like it. I saw it last time.
Let's keep our eyes about us and make sure we're being cautious. I don't want to be followed back to where we're staying.
How far away is the alley?
100 meters back behind you down the road.
Okay. Yep.
Amanita will pull her cloak over, like, and hide her wings under her cape, like, making sure they can't be seen.
So, you continue on. You hear footsteps to one side after a while and decide to head down a couple of side streets, zigzagging your way to where you think the refugee camp is going to be. You begin to find a number of lesser market squares, like tiny squared areas, filled with tents and cart and like market stalls and trailers and stuff, but no goods in them.
Can I, as we're walking through the square, I'm going to have Pyrite hang back and do some circles around the, or maybe just to sit on the, the lip of the rooftops like a bird, and he's going to look down and see who's coming through the alleyway.
Okay. He doesn't see anybody of note behind you. You move on a little bit further and you hear footsteps to the right. You begin to move then to the options on the left. As you enter the next market square, could you all do a perception roll, please? You can do one for Pyrite as well. That's what you're doing.
I got as many.
That one was not as good as my crit. That was a 5.
Okay. Could I have a marching order, please?
Oh wow, I should roll 18.
I imagine either myself or Lucy would be up front.
Yeah, Lucy probably would be.
Yeah, of course would be hanging around in the middle.
Next.
Lucy's about to get shot.
So where's Amanita, Jess?
She'll probably be, like, dragging a bit behind a little bit, being curious,
Fine.
looking, staring, because she knows something doesn't feel right.
I would keep close to Amity. I would try and be towards the front, but keep close to Amity at the same time as well.
Pyrite might be a bit further back as well, actually, since he's had to catch up.
Okay. So I'll do it like this. So something flies through the air. Narrowly missing Lucy. Varric, you push him out of the way. And then this crossbow bolt just boom, thuds into the wall to one side. You start to see, you can hear a dripping off, and you can see the glistening of, from the moon, of poison just dripping down the bolt. Could you all roll initiative, please?
Also, I should say now, Lucy, definitely take your resilience potion now, unless you want to use another one. And I will be doing the same with my one as that potion action.
Of course, give me one of those potions as well. I forgot to add it.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's probably been retconned to not happen now.
No, that's fine.
Unless you want a transformation elixir.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. No, please. That's fine.
So do I need to roll?
Something elixir.
Yeah. Was it a D10? I think.
Beauty stamina, doesn't it? Is that right? Or is it something else it's given you?
Sure. Trying to find it on here. I'm not first anyway, but I'll sort it by the time
I need to do a couple of initiative rolls once I get onto the right layer. That's not working. Why is that not working?
Oh, sorry. Why is my initiative seems to be set to 4?
I think that was the homunculus roll.
Right. So is it okay if I switch that to the first roll?
Yeah, it was 18, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You need to, because I think you needed to select the other token and then roll. I think
Right.
you had your token selected.
Yeah. Sorry.
Can't find just a normal resistance one, so I'll just have to roll the D10.
So,
One.
in front of you,
Acid.
in front of you, you see two figures in brown leather hoods and a cloak, dressed all in black. One of them is male, half elf. One of them is female human. Right. Okay. So yeah, okay. And then descending. I'll just put pyrite after Kursk. So Cleo is first. So he will cast he'll cast so that gives him AC of 16. It's fine. And then he'll just move out slightly like that. knowing that there was one over here. It's moving out, just out of the sight. So, that then leads us to Varric.
Let me have a look, see what I have to do. So I am going to stay where I am. Going to use sorcery point to cast twin spell, and then I'm going to fire 2 firebolts, one at each assassin.
Okay. I will note that this one here has 3/4 cover.
That's fine. Yeah, that's don't really want to move too much, but okay. I guess I'll just move around there and get a bit of a clearer shot, and then fire it. So I'll pretty much swap sides with Lucy, kind of going around him.
Oh. So you're swapping. So have you done your firebolt?
I've not done it yet. I'm just waiting to do it. I was just moving first,
Okay,
and then
fine. You've got clean line of sight to both of them now.
no worries. So the first one is a 17.
Okay, just a minute.
So I'll as a top-down look to it, it'll go like left to right essentially. So I'll hit the one on the left first, and the one on the right.
Yeah.
And so the next one is a 21 to hit.
Both of those are hit.
Awesome. So the first one is 8 damage, and then the next one is 11 damage. Ooh, good.
8 damage and 11 damage.
Yep. So one left is 8, and then the one south is 11.
Okay.
The one hiding by the apples.
Ah. Just a minute. There we go. I'd had them both set up to the same character, so I took it off. I took the damage off one, and it went. So not that you can see the bars, but cool. So that then leads us to Amanita. Jess.
Right. With that, she is going to move 5, 10, 15 there.
Okay.
And with that, she will. Let's just double check. Where is it? Action. Okay, I'll just use a spell then, and I am going to. Where's it gone? One sec, guys.
It's alright.
It's disappeared. She's going to produce a flame. There we go. And she'll be attacking this one here.
Okay, so produce flame. So does that roll to hit the 10?
Yeah, so I'm guessing she don't hit.
That's a miss. That's a miss. So you create this like little fireball thing, toss it towards him, and it just hits the ground next to him, and he just shrugs it off. Is that the end of your go?
I'll just double check. Right, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's the end of my thing.
Cool. which takes us to Korsk.
Okay. So Korsk will slide into cover here. What's the cover quality?
So you got 3/4 there.
3/4.
To this guy here, and none to this guy here.
Okay. Is it short enough that you can still throw things over it?
Oh, here.
Yeah, both.
It's like there's a crate that's about a couple of a foot and a half high, and then basically there's a gap between the tents and the two stores, basically, so you can just kind of see a part of the assassin through the gap.
Okay, so sorry, I'm just checking for RP's sake. Basically, Korsk is going to throw a vial, but he's going to arc it basically in this way, so it goes over.
Okay.
Is that still okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Cool. So Korsk, after sliding into cover, reaches into his satchel, pulls out a flask with acrid fumes coming out from it, screams to the party, "Hold your noses," and then he bungs it through the air at this. That's not the button. At this guy, and it's infestation, which is a 15 DC con save.
15 DC con save. Okay. 19.
Okay, so the liquid looks like it's sticking to him, but he manages to get most of it off. It drips to the floor, and all of the flies that have been buzzing around the produce immediately just swarm onto it and start lapping the stuff up. So he takes no damage from the save.
So she's kind of wiping it off her leather armor. Cool. And Pyrite?
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that.
That's why we need him on the...
Yeah, that's true. Are they just carrying knives, or are they, are these the crossbowmen?
They've got short swords and crossbows, as far as you can tell.
Okay. So, Pyrite.
Sorry, short swords and crossbows.
Okay. So I think for now, Pyrite will move over to about here, but he's going to go up one unit as well, using his fly. So he's going to hover over the head of this guy and wait for his moment.
Okay. So it's just hovering.
Yeah. He's basically taking a dodge action.
Okay. So that then leads us to Lucy.
Can Lucy tell which one the bolt came from? Was it the half-elf male or the female elf?
It was the male over this side.
Sorry, which one? It didn't come up for me.
The one on the left. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
The male.
The male, yeah.
Okay, so you said it was a half-elf male? Okay. Lucy is going to move over to here and say, "Andrea, why did you do that?" And to Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast to the face. They're
26 and 24.
2 hits.
Ooh, nice. One was a so it was 25 total damage.
25.
Yeah, so you would have shouted out, "Andrea, naughty, naughty."
Andre. But yeah. Andre. So.
And that's my turn.
Okay. So. It's now his turn. Oh, I've forgotten about me. the evasion on that. I'll use it next time. Yes, it's subjected to effect that allows it. All right, okay. It's if it makes a dex saving, so that's fine. It's not a thing. Right, cool. So he's got multi-attack, and he will attack Lucy twice with his short sword. 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Could you
I know.
do a con save, please?
Con save.
Yeah.
What did you say, Kors? Because I can.
Sorry, it was I know I keep saying it, but remember to factor in the +1.
Yeah. With the +1, I'm at 18.
What was
So
that?
con save is there. 15?
Okay. So it is half as much. 6 piercing and 10 poison damage.
That's half?
It was 21
Oh, no.
poison.
So 6 piercing and 10
Okay.
poison. So 6. Okay.
Okay, and then he's going to take his second attack at you.
As a reaction, Lucy's going to ask you to do a dex save, please.
Okay. So can I just say the second attack was just an 11, so it's missed.
Go.
So it's fine. What was it? Dex con save?
Dex save.
Dex save.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you can use evasion as well. So if the assassin is subject to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, the assassin instead takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throw, and
Okay.
only half damage if it fails.
Yep.
So
That's your reaction? Is that just like to any attack, basically?
So if it's a dex save,
Mhm.
if he succeeds, it's half. If he succeeds, it's 0. If it fails, it's half.
Okay. Right.
So
Alright, has this as well, so yeah.
So he's got 11, which is a fail. So it's
So he
half.
gets 9.
So what was he? So it's 9 damage, is it?
9 fire damage.
9 fire damage. Cool.
I'll just
And he's like, "Oh, do you know my name?"
You're famous.
Cool. Which leads him to Cynthia. So she, let me just look. Just need one of those. Where's the snappy tool thing up?
As the ruler.
Yeah,
I may be wrong.
that's what I want. Snap to
I
center.
know one of them was related to Marcus. And I'm not 100%, but I think it's the other one. That's
No,
the.
it's not.
Is it not? Okay. Because I've
No,
only
no,
got
no.
5 names on the list, and
There was-
one of them.
There was 3 brown hoods on the notice board. Marcus's sister, and then there's this half orc. Marcus's sister-in-law, and the half orc, who was
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you
also
said.
with us.
So,
So there were 5, I think, and the brown hoods are 3 of them, and then the others are nothing to do with them, but to do with each other. So she's going to move there, and she's going to use her multi-attack with
Go back in 2 seconds, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
Lucy. Because she's flanking, she has advantage and therefore sneak attack.
Yep.
So 26 to hit.
I'm gonna say that hits. Yeah.
Could you do a con saving throw, please?
Six.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been fun, guys.
I need to do the blooming sneak attack as well.
Yeah. Let's just say Lucy's down.
4d6. You might be dead.
Yeah. Oh wait, I could do a I could, if it's worth it, I could do a thing.
Right, so
That's alright.
you take 15 piercing damage,
Yep.
49 poison damage,
Yeah, I'm down. I'm just down. Right?
and 12 sneak attack damage.
We don't even need to go there. I had 29 hit points. Right, I'm down.
What's your max health?
45.
Yes, you're not negative 45. Right. So you're on death saves then.
Yep.
Okay, well,
At
we
that.
need to,
So that was her.
It's our first attack.
That was
Yeah.
her first attack. And I'm trying to think, would she do the second one? Because you would die if I do the second one. I would kill Lucy. I think she will probably leave that kill to her son. And try to go after the others. But she hasn't got any movement left. So
If Lucy dies before getting to do his song, Wayne, I'm going to be so annoyed with you.
leads us to Cleo. So Cleo is going to move up to here. And he is going to cast Healing Word on Lucy at 3rd level. For 11.
I just need to figure out how to apply that on here.
Just click on him and write in the circle, I think, if you can.
There we go.
You got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which then takes us to let me just have a look, because that might be a bonus action. What's Healing Word?
yeah, it is.
It is one bonus action, so he has got an action, so he can do a cantrip as well. Yeah, so he'll do the control. Nah, none of his cantrips are any good, I think, without injuring Lucy some more.
Underwave.
It's not a cantrip. He's got Thunderclap, but I think
Oh,
that
Thunderclap.
requires people to make saves, so he'll probably In which case, he'll just finish his movement and move up next to Lucy. Varric.
I'm gonna move beside Ammonite here, and I'm gonna twirl my staff around a bit, slam it into the ground, and I'm gonna cast Hold Person at level 3. Sorry.
On which one?
On both of them.
Both of them. Okay.
So they need to make a Wisdom 14 save, or be paralyzed. No. Choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed a Wisdom saving throw. It will be paralyzed for the duration. Yeah.
What's the range on it?
60 feet.
All right. So is it multiple people? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just two. I can choose 2 people. So
Okay.
I'm choosing the assassins and stuff.
Fine. Cool. So a 12 and an 11.
They are paralyzed. We need to get Lucy out of there.
Yeah.
How long for?
1 minute. I think they get to make a save every turn. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another Wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends on the target.
Okay. So, where does that lead us? So, do you want to move as well? Or have you already moved?
I've already moved slightly. I just came around to the side of Ammonite, and I'm essentially, because it's a concentration spell, so I'm essentially just holding my staff there and keeping them restrained.
Fine. Amanita.
Alright, with that, she is going to use a bonus action, level 3. She's going to create a healing spirit right next to Lucy.
Okay. So that's another 8 healing.
And because she can't, it's a concentration spell, she's going to then use as an action a cantrip. That's alright, that's not a cantrip. She is going to get angry and throw a frostbite.
Okay.
As she throws it, she's getting angry and shouts, "Touched by Lucy!"
Okay. So is this dude here?
Yeah, that one.
And it's a DC 15 con save. Do they paralyzed then? Paralyzed.
I think paralyzed affects dexterity saves, but I'm not sure about.
Automatically fails strength and dex save. Any attack against the creature is critical hits.
Any attack.
Paralyzed creature is incapacitated. It doesn't say anything about con saves.
Lucy is readying the open palms.
So I just had a mental picture of Lucy just grabbing the assassin's head and then lighting it.
So they scored 12, so failed. So is it the top one you were going for? Or the bottom one?
Top one.
Okay, so that's 12 damage, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that leads us to... Oh, do you want to move, or are you okay?
No, she's going to stay there because she's in concentration of the healing creature. She's got a healing spirit. I'd say they're little tiny mushrooms hugging onto Lucy.
So does that last multiple turns, does it?
Did it not come in the chat? One sec.
No, it just gave the... I'm just wondering if it wiped a concentration spell.
I'll post it in the chat. There you go.
One bonus action. Duration, up to 1 minute. You can call forth a nature to soothe the wounded. Until the spell ends, whenever you or a creature can see moves into the spirit space for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, You can cause the spirit to restore 1d6 hit points. The spirit can't heal constructs or the undead. Spirit can... Okay. Does that affect the assassins then?
I hope not.
If it's a 5-foot cube, it'll only affect the square that Lucy is on.
Because it's 5 foot cube. Right, fine. But theoretically it could. Cool. Right. So... Korsk then.
Yay. It's great. Time to be suboptimal. Korsk, on seeing Lucy just like convulse and go down, puts his shield away, immediately whips a dagger from his belt, and he's going to charge, snarling, at this guy.
Okay.
So just going to move Pyrite here.
Yeah, it's in the air, isn't he? So...
Yeah. And he'll attack with... I'll probably need to converse with you a bit more about how the dice rolling works for this. But you see him kind of reach into his satchel and slap some what looks like wax onto his dagger. It's then you notice that there's actually a very long black mark going all the way up the dagger's length.
Okay.
And as he moves it to strike, it bursts into green flame.
Okay.
And I critted anyway.
Green flame dagger.
So that's
definitely a hit. On a hit, a creature within 5 feet can be hit with the flame automatically.
So the second attack doesn't trigger because the other one is too far away. But I'm counting the fire damage as another dice roll. So does that count as another dice roll for the crit?
On a hit, a creature within 5 feet can be hit with a flame automatically.
I'll print the entire thing, actually. There we go.
Okay, so you need to roll a dagger attack and then add the fire damage to it.
Yeah, so I've got... Wait, why is it rolled fire damage twice, actually?
I think it might be before the crit.
Okay, that was my fault. The first roll is actually a piercing attack. That is the true damage of the dagger.
Okay, so it's 4 plus 1 piercing and...
Yeah, so the first roll is die roll plus dex, and then the second roll is 1d4 from the crit. Then the second roll is the fire damage, and another d8 from a crit.
So 11 then.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the second hit doesn't occur.
Cool. Anything else?
He'll order Pyrite, who is now flying over here with a bonus action, to make a force strike against the same assassin that he attacked. He attacked at.
Okay.
12 enough?
No. Cool.
Yeah, that's everything.
That then takes us to Lucy.
He's pissed. His white cape has been on ground. He does not like this. He's just gonna sit up and shift to here, so he still should be in melee with both. Does he then... See, with flanking, is it only with melee attacks that you get advantage?
You get advantage. No, sorry.
I think it's regardless. Let me have a look. I seem to recall us discussing this previously, and I think it
Yeah,
I didn't remember. Flanking 5e. Let me have a quick look. When a creature and at least one ally are within 5 feet of the same enemy on opposite sides, then the enemy is flanked. So I think... Right, okay. When making a melee attack, you gain advantage.
Okay.
If your opponent is threatened by a character or creature to you on the opposite side.
Okay, so I could only...
Just read.
No worries. So we only get
But the damage is critical, isn't it? Because of the paralysis.
on both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you attack one,
Mm-hmm.
you get a critical. Actually, I should have done that
On any attack?
Course got a critical anyway, but yeah. So a paralyzed creature is incapacitated and can't speak or move. The creature automatically fails strength and dex saves. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Any attack that hits is a critical.
Okay, cool. That's fine then. So I'll start with this one.
If the attack is taken within 5 feet of the creature.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So which one are you going with?
I'll start with that one and just Eldritch Blast with advantage. Where is it? Does that come through?
Yeah, so that's a hit.
So that's critical.
So that's a critical.
So I just need to double the roll, which is 7, so 14 plus 18.
18
damage for the first one.
Yeah, so he's looking quite worse for wear at the moment.
Then we'll do it again.
That's a hit.
Okay, same again. So this time, 10. 10 force damage.
On the second one, he falls to the ground, almost folding, and hits the ground, dead.
Cool. I will then also, for my free action, drink a potion, because I need to.
That potion you didn't need.
Yep. Oh, yep.
Got used very quickly, didn't it?
It's a greater healing, wasn't it?
Yeah. 4d4 plus 4, I think.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That was a dud.
Yeah. Cool. So 10.
I got something similar for my damage roll.
Rolled
2
3
points.
ones there.
3 ones.
Yep. Okay. And then we'll turn to the other one, who I believe
Is the mother.
is the mother, and go,
Cynthia.
now do you want him to die? Or will you stop?
He's already dead.
He is folded.
Oh yeah, my bad. So I'll just look at her and go, and then my turn. There's nothing else I can do.
Unfortunately, I couldn't see your camera froze, so I couldn't see what you... Cool.
Alright.
So that leads... So he's dead, so he's off the turn thing. That leads to her turn.
Needs to make a whiz save.
So she needs to make a wisdom save.
It's been lovely playing with you guys. Lucy's had a wonderful time.
Natural 20.
There's only one of her, though.
It's only one of them.
Doesn't my healing spirit still work though?
When you get to the next round, yeah.
I started in that for my turn. Is that not a thing?
What do you mean? You start?
If I started in the space on your turn,
Let's
I
have a
got
look.
an extra D. The 1d6?
Potentially.
Until the spell ends, whenever you or a creature you can... You're already there. For the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, you can cause the spirit to restore 1d6. So the 8 happens when you start your turn. Is that right? Yeah. So it'll heal you the 8. So have you already added the 8 on?
No.
Okay. So we need to add the 8 on that how many that Jess rolled earlier.
Okay. Oh wait, no, when she first cast it, yeah, I added that 8, I think.
You did that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
No worries.
And the spirit can heal a number of times equal to 1 plus your spellcasting modifier. What's your spellcasting modifier, Jess? Must be like 50. No, it won't be. So, is it intelligence or wisdom or something?
Good question.
If you're on D&D Beyond, Jess, if you go to your spells, and then at the top
Yeah.
it'll give you your modifier level.
+4.
Right, okay, so you can use it, so it's 5 times it can be used. Okay. So, she is...
I'll probably just, I've got a bit of movement left, so I'll just step back in it just in case, so that she can't. And then I'll end my turn.
Okay. So she's going to, so it's her turn now. She's going to attack Lucy twice. The whole load of dice. 25.
Yep, that hits. I'm guessing I'm down.
So 8 piercing and 21 poison.
I had 29 hit points.
Did you make the con save for the poison?
You need to do the con save for the poison, actually.
Oh, man.
Which you
18.
have. So you've passed, so it's only 18 damage you take.
I'm still standing, guys. Still standing.
Just.
Yep. Yep.
At which point...
Oh, wait, no, I had 10. Never mind, I'm good. I forgot I had 10 extra hit points.
At which point, she's attacked you again, but she's missed. She only rolled a 10.
Lucy will continue with a na 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 na, just to rub salt in the wound.
Okay. So then we go to Cleo, who I'm controlling, aren't I? So Cleo, he will cast Spark Skin Concentration. No. He will No, don't want to do that because this is stood right next to her. There was a particular spell I was looking for that he had. Can't find it there. Thought it was a level 1/1.
Do you know what it's called?
No, I don't think I've selected it. I think that's the problem. Okay, fine. I will cast Flame Blade. which is a bonus action. And I'll cast it at level 2. So that gives him a fiery blade. The blade is similar in size to the shape of a scimitar and lasts for duration, but you can evoke the blade against bonus head. Yeah, so scimitar. So he's effectively got a scimitar. So, if I remember rightly, it will be 1d6 damage. Right, fine, cool. So, and it will be a phone, I think, unless finesse. It is finesse, so he's a +4 then. So, it's 22 to hit, which is a hit. And then he'll do 1d6 damage. I need to put scimitar in his thing actually for when I use that. 3. Woohoo! He's done a whole 3 damage to her. Right.
It's the disrespect that counts.
Disrespect that counts. Varric.
Cool. She's broken free of my hold person, annoyingly. So, Varric's going to get visibly frustrated and begin spinning his staff, just, like over one hand and stuff like that, and chanting in Draconic. He'll step in front of Amanita, and then he's going to unleash lightning bolt pretty much just straight at her. Just down that whole line.
Okay. Make you roll then.
29 damage with it's a dex save. So
Dex, right. I'd expect an assassin to have a decent dex modifier.
Yep.
Crap roll though. 10.
10. So it is half, because obviously is it evasion? Is it evasive?
So it is evasion, yeah. So it's half damage. So it'll be what?
I got what did I roll? It doesn't say
15 or 14.
Do we round up or do we round down?
I can never remember. I rounded down to date.
I'll round down then. So 14 it is then.
38. Whoop, sorry, I just took yeah, cool. Still hanging on in there. Anything else? Or are you done?
I don't think I can do much else. I'm just gonna. It's not like I can't actually do it or anything like that, but I'm just gonna get my dagger ready, just put my hand on it and get ready to draw it.
Okay. Amanita, Jess.
Amanita angry that she keeps attacking Lucy, so that kind of proper storm over her, kind of like hiding her face under her hood. And how is Lucy doing actually?
About 21 hit points.
So you'll be alright for next turn, yeah?
Yeah, but hopefully. We'll see what happens.
I can pop a heal as well.
That's fine.
If I do die, I die in that field.
Which field?
The healing mushroom field.
All right.
It's just gonna be like
That's the problem. If I do this spell, I lose concentration on that spell, and I create a new spell. That's why I'm asking.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure I'll be fine. There's plenty of us around, so I could get a potion at some point.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, it's just
Looks like
going
I'm gonna be creating some good berries for now. Right, she's going to cast
Ice knife.
with her fury, like having her cloak completely covering her eyes, like proper evil looking,
Oh,
and she's gonna throw it.
Hit.
Crit as well.
Wow.
Oh boy.
She is not a happy bunny.
So 4 piercing and 26 cold damage. Piercing? 26 cold. So you sling this ice spike at her. It goes, this shard of ice, and it goes sailing through the air and just impales in her gut. She is badly injured and bleeding profusely, but is still standing. Just.
Seeing her still standing, I mean, it's just like, why won't you go down? And
Amanita's a little bit scary.
Oh, and that'll be the end of her turn.
Cool.
Okay.
Of course.
Waterfall sees the opportunity from Amanita's strike to jump over this lady's son, run around to the back, and he kicks her in the back of the knee and then arcs his dagger upwards into her back.
Cool. So you've got advantage because you're flanked with Cleo.
Yeah. Also from pack tactics.
Cool.
Bad rolls.
14, I believe, is a miss. Yeah.
Okay. And as a bonus action on the way, he cast a healing word at Lucy.
Cool.
If I can find where the tag is. There it is. Max. And Pyrite. Pyrite is... can characters move diagonally?
Yeah.
Okay. So he'll move over to beside Korsk and close off her retreat that way. So he's actually come down to ground level.
Cool.
And he takes a dodge action.
Lucy.
Lucy's still kind of in shock after seeing Amanita and her stabbiness, which he didn't expect. And he'll just turn back. Is this one, do we still have the advantage attacks for this one, or is it just normal?
No, so the whole person's dropped now, so...
Oh, okay, cool. So then, 2 Eldritch Blasts to the face.
Okay.
26 and 23.
Okay.
That would be 22 points of force damage.
So, your first one flings her back. She smashes her head on the wall behind her, and you can just see bits of blood and brain hit the wall. The second one you hit her with just out of instinct, and you can literally just see part of her body just kind of start to tear, but it doesn't quite, and you just kind of see blood pouring down her midriff as she slides down the wall and hits the ground.
Lucy will just turn to everyone else, his hand still out, going, "My bad."
You're good, Lucy. You're good.
We should probably check, see if they had any info on them, because I'm sure that's going to come back to bite us at some point.
Yeah, probably. Here, take everything out of their pockets and stuff like that and pile them on top of each other.
Yeah, Korska's especially interested in the if they have any vials of the poison they were using, so he can identify it.
So they do have vials of poison on them, just a couple each. You can see that their short swords have been laced in it. Their bolts have been laced in it. There's kind of 10 poison bolts, effectively. They've got short bows, not short bows, light crossbows. Nothing else. There is no clue as to who sent them or why, for example.
No money?
No money.
Before we fully destroy them, are there hoods salvageable?
Yes.
So I guess we'll take them and then put their bodies in a pile.
Before Lucy does that, Korska's been in Qatar for a while. Does he recognize the faces of either of these two from like a wanted list or a notice board or something?
So the group already know that there are bounties on both of their heads.
Right.
What
Does
Cleo was about to say was, I think we should keep the hoods for our friend at the Thieves Guild, but perhaps we could take the actual heads to the bounty office and maybe get paid twice for the same job?
Was about to ask,
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, so I'll put the hoods in the pants. Are we taking the whole bodies or just the heads?
Just the heads. Set an example.
Okay. I guess we're chopping off the heads.
Korska just kind of goes to the corner and starts helping himself to some of the apples.
Once the heads have been... Sorry, don't go.
Go on. Go.
Okay.
I will add there aren't any apples there. It's an empty store. It's just the picture I've used when I've created the map.
Yeah. So the disappointment is palpable when he looks up.
You might find a couple of apple cores that people have, or a couple of bruised apples on the ground, but they're like pretty much halfway to cider by now.
We have some.
Well,
If you want some, we have some.
Yeah, I could do with a stack. Actually, makes me hungry.
Fair enough. I'll give you 10 apples.
Sorry.
They have come from the pants. One at a time.
Warm.
Yeah.
Warm apples. Once the heads have been cut off the bodies and they've been kind of stacked on top of each other, I'm just going to set them on fire.
And while you're doing that, Lucy is carefully going to put the poison things in the pants. Very carefully.
Okay. So that's 4 vials of poison.
I think Korsk was taking the poison vials. I'm taking the...
All right, you're taking the weapons. Fine.
bolts and crossbow.
So it's 2 short swords and 2 lots of 10 crossbow bolts.
And 2 light crossbows. Yep.
Yeah, 2 light crossbows. Cool. And then
How many vials were there?
4. 2 each.
2 each.
Amanita will still be like she'll be keeping to herself, but just like she's just produced a little flame in her hands, but her hood is completely down over her eyes, and she's just keeping quiet.
You did good, Amanita. And I come over and pat her on the head. That was some good magic. Well done.
As you pat her on the head, you probably can feel that she's quite cold.
Is it every time you use that ice magic of yours you tend to get a bit chilly?
Yeah, there's nothing of it.
Alright, just asking. Good job anyway. Come stand by the bodies if you want to get a bit warmer.
No,
Can I just...
no, it's fine. I'm fine.
Alright.
When Lucy's a little bit away, he will throw his voice to Amanita in the god voice. Just like, well done. And that's it. Walk away.
As she kind of hears it, she just kind of pulls her hood down a little bit further, just like.
So, should we keep going? Because I don't know if the
let's go.
is open currently, but
Let's try. No, let's go home. Let's rest, and we'll let's hand in the bounties tomorrow. Yeah.
So I'm assuming the heads have gone in the pants, have they?
yep, I've got it written
Again.
in the pants of holding list. Heads of Andrea Brownhood and Domash.
Not Tomash. It's Cynthia.
Oh,
which is
Cynthia Brownhood.
Cynthia with that. Domash was the half orc.
Yep, sorry, I got confused.
Cool. So, you head back to the refugee camp. It is probably about 11:30 at night. You can see the flames of the blacksmith's furnace, or of a gentle kind of glow of hot coals at this point in time. Kemlin and Dunley are sat warming themselves by the coals, drinking a glass of ale each. And as they see you approach, "Ah, my friends, you're back. How goes the investigation?"
Oh, we're done.
Amanita kind of rudely goes, "None of your business."
Amanita, don't be rude to our patron. They're helping us. It's fine.
It went very well. Thank you. We wrapped up faster than expected.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. And did you put a good word in for me with the Brotherhood?
Yeah, welcome to the Brotherhood. And I shake his hand.
Fantastic. Did they give you anything for me? There was a letter.
There was a letter. Yeah.
So he opens the letter and has a read of it. Excellent. Excellent. And I understand making one of the sorcerers. That is good. And you have my gratitude. Unfortunately, I don't have any coin to give you, or else I would, but perhaps in the future, when I'm a little bit more prosperous, I'll try and put some more work your way. In the meantime, you're welcome to share our ale and stay in your tents as long as you wish.
Sounds like a plan. I reckon we're probably going to be here a good few days yet.
Excellent.
If there's a fireplace nearby, Varric's going to just take out some whiskey and go sit by the fireplace.
Yeah, so they're kind of, it's not necessarily a fire. They're sat around the furnace of the
I meant like separate from like where they are. Just like if there's one like close.
So
to
there's
the house.
campfires around, but like a few tents away.
Mm.
I think it.
Have we actually got a tent then?
Yeah, you've got a tent each. Effectively, they're rather small, type one-man affairs. Basic is literally tent, a blanket, and that's about it. It's rather muddy around that area as well.
Hmm.
Hang out, really.
Well, we'll probably walk over to a tent and then make a little campfire using her druid craft.
Cool.
I'll
Cleo.
join her at the campfire as well. Just I'll help make it in some way.
Cleo will probably look to sit wherever Luce is sitting and say to him, "That was close, my friend. These assassins are dangerous in melee combat. I would suggest next time chance might not be on your side.
Well,
You were lucky that the lady wanted her offspring to make the killer blow."
yeah. Well, luck was on my side. This time.
This time.
I think I'm going to go for a rest, guys. Before he leaves, he was fiddling about with a paper and quill. He hands Amanita a piece of paper, and then he goes to bed. And the piece of paper says, I'll send you. What?
Okay, cool.
And he'll just go off to bed.
Korska's been reading another newspaper. He got on the group's way down, but he's probably going to turn in now as well.
Cool. Cleo heads off to bed himself.
Varys is going to stay by the campfire and just keep drinking for the night.
So the hours tick past.
I'd say Amanita's still up and she's waiting for everyone to fall asleep.
So it's like a Mexican standoff between Amanita and Varric, who goes to bed first.
You can head to bed if you want, Amanita. I'm not planning on getting any rest just now. I'm gonna keep an eye out for the time being.
So, what did you say?
I'm gonna stay out here and keep an eye out, and I don't plan on getting any rest. But if you want to head to bed, that's fine. I don't mind.
No, I'm fine.
All right. That was some good magic today. You did well. That was a good job protecting Lucy.
I'm just glad he's okay.
Yeah, me too. I like our new friends. I hope we can travel with them for much longer. I like them.
Yeah.
Hours tick by. The coals in the furnace died down. Emily. Darkness turns to light. Smell of smoke in the air. You guys going to bed, or are you staying up all night?
Well, I guess I'll see you in the morning then, Amanita. Good night. And I kind of head through to my tent. And before the guys went through, I would have asked for like quill and paper and stuff like that as well. And
Yeah.
so yeah, write the letter. If I'll write the letter in the tent and stuff.
Jess?
Once Varric finally leaves, Amanita will then, sitting alone, undo her hood, look up at the moon, sigh, and then decide to head to her tent and go to bed.
Cool. So, soon after, the sun begins to rise. You start to hear noises outside your tents. You smell the smell of bacon cooking. And Cleo gets up, begins to, you can hear the voice of Cleo and Kemlin and Dunley outside. You then start to hear the dinging of Dunley's hammer as he's starting to do his craft for the day. Those of you that leave your tents will see bacon cooking on the side of the furnace when he's not using it. A couple of sausages as well. Cleo has a bread roll and some water for his breakfast.
Sausages and a half canteen of whiskey for Varric for his breakfast.
Of course, tries one of the bacon rashers, but he goes off it pretty quickly and goes back to the apples that Lucy gave.
And Lucy, Amanita.
Lucy will grab a plate of food and then look for Amanita.
Is there a bucket of water nearby the tent, so she could just rinse her face off?
Yeah, I mean, there's a vat that they use in the blacksmith. I wouldn't use that, but there is a barrel that he uses to fill that vat, which is relatively clean water, so you could get a bowl out of that. I mean, they have plenty of bowls and stuff.
She would have got one, and then she would literally look at her reflection in the mirror, basically her reflection in the water, and seeing her reflection, she'll then wash her face and sigh a bit of relief, and then collect herself, smile upon her face, and walk out of her tent again and head towards the smell.
Cool. And as you're all eating breakfast, Cleo pipes up with so, sounds as though we have a route to the Sorcerer's Circle. We are still waiting for our Ascension Crystal to be prepared. What is the order of the day today?
I got some bits and pieces I need to get done. I gotta find person to send this letter with. Hopefully I can get it away. But other than that, I don't have much else to do.
With a mouthful of sausages, Lucy will pipe up with, "We're going to bounty office."
Oh, the bounty office. Yeah, you're right, Lucy.
Lucy, you're coming with me to help me get some more ingredients, since you keep using our supplies so quickly.
Well, I think that's
Oh,
fair, actually. Yeah.
Who
I'll
was
take the
there?
heads.
Well,
Amanita will smile and pipe up. Can you get me something?
Yeah, I can. Or who you talking to?
Whoever's going shopping, she'll say that to them.
By all means. What do you need? Perhaps I can even make it.
She kind of like stares at you, just like looks at the wall and goes. She then kind of clicks herself and goes, I need a staff. So.
A staff? Of what particular kind? I'm assuming you want an enchanted one, not just ornamental?
Anything. I just need one.
Yes, but what kind? Water, ice, fire, elements? Perhaps a healing one? Since after your quick operation on the brave tiefling over here.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I just need one.
are you looking
Any
for
old channeling staff?
you
Like
looking
mine.
for
Well,
an arcane?
I mean, anything. A stick, it will do. Anything will do. I just need it.
If you need
Very
an
well.
arcane focus, I have a spare one.
No, just buy me one. And she'll go to go in her patch. Just tell me how much it is after, and I'll give it back.
Of course. I'll see what I can dredge up. So I just leans over to Lucy and says, is there something on my snout?
No? Still with my full of sausages. No?
Korsk, I understand you need to help our friend, but when we encountered you, weren't you in the middle of a job? Do you not need to report back?
Of course, I've put that on the back burner. Very well. Before the Sorcerer's Circle, we can swing by Civil. We can swing by Civil Study. I can finish my business there, and perhaps we can get some useful information for her when we travel to the Sorcerer's Circle.
That would be interesting. Okay. So you finish your breakfast and prepare to head out for the day with a plan of action of bounty office, shopping, Wizards College,
Post
and
office.
at that, post office, and news agents, no doubt. And at that, I think we'll stop there for the week.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good. Maybe we find